Its official name was Connoquenessing Creek, which is Native American for a long way straight. Connoquenessing ran right through our lower pasture, and my dad was proud to say he owned a piece of it, even though in my mind it's impossible to own running water. We loved the creek because it was an endless source of play opportunities for us. Ice skating in the winter, canoeing in the spring. In the summer, after the sweaty and scratchy business of baling hay, we would put on our bathing suits and go swim in the little area called the swimming hole. It was just on the west side of Little Creek Road and below a dam that ran across it. At that place, the water was about 4 feet deep. One side of the creek was lined with a steep wall of rocks, the perfect place for snakes to slither in and make their nests. Our first summer there, my neighbor Nancy Gump told me that a snake had bitten her sister Linda once. I considered not swimming in the creek based on that story, but no one else seemed to care about the potential of a snake bite. And besides, in the throes of a sweltering summer with no other source of water, it seemed a reasonable risk to take. One day, when a group of us were splashing around in the swimming hole, I felt a tickling on my leg. I looked down, and through the sediment, I saw latched on to the side of my right knee a snake. It was brownish-green and about the length of 3 very big feet. Its tail slithered in an S motion in the water, and its mouth was opened as wide as its head. I could see it sucking on my flesh like my little brother Tommy sucked on his pacifier, with purpose and intent. I froze in terror. It is not a cliché. When you are afraid, you really do become paralyzed. It has happened to me many times. I looked around in slow motion. Everyone remained oblivious to my predicament. No one would rescue me. With this nauseating realization, I started moving my leg with the full force and fury of an outboard motor. I kicked up a large dirt cloud and couldn't see my leg anymore, but in a nanosecond I had run out of the water onto the dam with an adrenaline rush that caught my heart mid-beat. I looked down, expecting to see the green-eyed monster hanging limply from my leg, but it was gone. The snake had vanished into the dark water, probably into the hidden holes of the stone bank. I stood there heaving. Nancy Gump asked me what was going on. I told her that a snake had bitten me. I looked down. There was no mark. No mark? Really? Was it my imagination? A manifestation of some story told to me long ago? No, there was a snake in that water. She told me to just keep moving my legs and they wouldn't bother me. I inched my way back in. I kept my legs moving at all times, furiously, ridiculously, for the rest of the day, for the rest of the summer. What was that brook babbling about? I think it was telling me to keep my legs moving or something might get me. Many years later, I look back and think, maybe that snake was just trying to kiss me.